Tell me if this is good.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Saying that straight?
I think so. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the webinar series on Pirkei Avos, the ethics of our fathers. Today we are going to learn Pirkei Avos chapter 1, Mishna 14, Mishna Yudalit. Mishna Yudalit is a continuation of Hillel's words. The great sage Hillel, he's already said a couple of things, and in Mishna Yudalit we will continue something that he used to say. So we'll read it inside, translate it on a very simple level, and then go into some deeper explanations. Mishna says like this: Hu hoya omer, he used to say, Hillel used to say, Im ein anili mili. This Mishnah is written in a very poetic way. It seems to be everything's rhyming. Im ein anili mili, which means if I am not for myself, who will be for myself? Which Rashi and the Bartanura, the simple commentaries, explain this to mean that if I don't do the mitzvahs, if I don't fulfill God's commandments, who will do it for me? Nobody can do it for me. I have to do it myself. And then it says, Ukisha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani. When I'm with myself, literally, then what am I worth? Which means, even if I am on my own, which means even if I did take responsibility for my own actions, and I did do all the mitzvahs, ma'ani, what am I, who am I? Because there is still so much more to do, there's still so much more to accomplish. And then the Mishnah finishes off, V'im loy achshav ein masai, and if not now, when? Which literally means that if I don't fulfill the mitzvahs now, in this world, in this physical world, olam hazeh, then a masai, when will I fulfill them? Because nobody ever knows when their lifetime will end, when they'll be transferred to olam haba, to the world to come, and in the world to come, you can't fulfill God's commandments. Therefore, im loy achshav, if not now, a masai, when will we be able to fulfill God's commandments? Interesting question over here is that this Mishnah is written in first person. It says, Im ein ani li, if I am not for myself. The entire Pirkei Avos seems to be talking to somebody else. You do this, you should do that. Why over here suddenly is it saying, Im ein ani li, if I don't do it on my own? It should have said, Im ein atah l'cha. Right? Why is it in first person? So the Sfas Emes explains that this Mishnah, this saying, actually Hillel didn't teach. Hillel used to go around saying it to himself. He used to say this statement that if I am not going to do it, who will do it? And if I am doing it, I'm still not good. And if not now, when? He would walk around saying this. And other people heard it and got inspired, and they recorded this saying that Hillel used to say to himself. So it actually wasn't the teaching of Hillel, it was a saying of Hillel that he used to say to himself, and therefore it is said in first person. This statement, Im ein ani li mili, ukisha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani, has many different explanations on many different levels, and we're just going to go through some of them. So, Im ein ani li mili, there is an explanation that means nobody can force you to do anything, which means Im ein ani li, if I will not take responsibility, then mili, who will force you to do it? Because a person, one of our very fundamental beliefs is that a person has free choice. A person has bechira chafshis, total and absolute free choice. And a person can choose to do the mitzvahs or can choose to not do the commandments. And therefore, in ein ani li, if I will not do it, if I won't arouse myself to do it, mili, nobody's going to force me to do it. And therefore, the Mishnah continues, ukasha'ani la'atzmi, since I am by myself, since I have total free choice, ma'ani, what am I? Which that can mean ma'ani, like who am I in a negative sense, but it can also mean ma'ani, like what am I worth? In other words, I am worth so much. Because of this quality of bechira chafshis, because of this quality of free choice, a human being is the highest creation. We're even higher in a way, in a certain aspect, than the angels. Because even an angel doesn't have free choice. That's what it means, ukashani la'atzmi, because I'm on my own. Because I have total and absolute free choice, therefore ma'ani, who is greater than me? In other words, I am one of the highest and most greatest creations. The Medrash Shmuel explains this in a context of teaching me about humility. And it's saying, Im ein ani li, since if I am not for myself, meaning since I don't belong to myself, since in the end of the day I won't be here anymore, I will pass away from this world. Therefore, mili, who am I? Meaning, why is it so worth it for me to invest so much effort in building myself up materially? And then the Mishnah continues, Ukashani la'atzmi. Even when I'm young and I'm strong and I think that I'm on my own, meaning I think that I control my life, I think that I'm alive and well and I'm in total control of my life. Nevertheless, ma'ani, it's still, what am I? Who am I? I'm still out of control of myself. Only Hashem has full and absolute control over my life. And therefore we finish off, if not now, when? Because again, a person can never know when their life will be over. The Baal Shem Tov explains this in a context of davening, of tefillah, of prayer. And he says like this, Im ein ani li, if during tefillah, ein ani li, I do not know myself. Ein ani li means I am not here. Meaning that the purpose of prayer is that a person should get so immersed in godliness, so immersed in his connection to, in his connection to Hashem, he should totally lose himself. It should be as if he doesn't exist. He shouldn't even feel his own existence. If a person gets to such a state, in ein ani li, if I'm not for myself, if I don't even feel myself anymore, I'm so involved in my prayer, mi li, who is to me, meaning no foreign thought, no disturbing thought will enter my mind. Mi li, who is for me, which other thought can enter my mind at a time when I've totally lost myself and I'm totally immersed in prayer. However, but if I don't pray properly, and I don't immerse myself properly in prayer, if I do feel myself, if I'm on my own, ma'ani, what am I worth? Because the entire purpose of my creation is to serve God, which a primary service of Hashem is in prayer, is during davening. The Chassam Sofer explains, Im ein ani li, he says this is like the soul and the body having a conversation. And he explains like this, Im ein ani li. The soul is saying, if I am not a part of you, meaning if the soul is not a part of the body, if it's just the body on its own, then mili, who's there? There's no purpose of a body on its own. However, says the soul, if I'm on my own, if there's a soul without a body, ma'ani, there's also no purpose. Because the soul can only serve God properly through keeping His commandments when it's in a physical body. You can only put on tefillin on a physical hand. You can only do mitzvahs with a physical body. You can only do God's commandments with a physical body. And therefore, a body without a soul is worthless. A soul without a body has no purpose. And therefore, if not now, in this physical world where we have a body and a soul together, then a Masai, and when will we serve God? In other words, this is the only opportunity we have when our soul and our body are one, and we can truly serve Hashem, we can truly serve God properly. On the other hand, in the world to come, when it will only be the soul on its own, you'll only get a reward for your service of God, but you will not be able to serve God properly. The Ksav Sofer explains that this Mishnah is bringing out Hillel's humility. The sage Hillel, who said this saying, it brings out how humble he was. Hillel felt that he was really worth absolutely nothing. He looked at himself that he was the lowest person on earth. On the other hand, he was a nasi, he was a leader of the Jewish nation. And for a nasi to lead, for a leader to lead, people to respect you, you need to stand up for yourself. You have to be assertive, you have to be strong, you have to show that you're a great person. So therefore Hillel felt that he was putting on an act. This that he acted like a great person, he put on like an external act that he was acting like a great person only because people should respect the leader. However, him on his own, him by himself, he thought to himself that I am absolutely nothing. And therefore it says in the Mishnah, Ein ani li, if I don't show that I am something, if I don't put on an act that I am great, mi li, who will listen to me? However, but by myself, when I'm on my own, ma'ani, I am nothing. What am I? Who am I? I am absolutely worth nothing. Again, bringing out Hillel's tremendous and great humility. The Lechem Shamayim explains that this mission is bringing out the idea that we need God's help. Im ein ani li. Ani refers to God. God is the ultimate I. God is the ultimate existence. Im ein ani li. If God is not with me, then mi li, who is with me? Without God, it's not possible to exist. The Yisoid Avodah explains an interesting meaning to this. He says like this, Im ein ani li. If I'm only worried about other people and not worried about myself, then mili, who will worry about myself? If I'm constantly only thinking about other people, then mili. Ukisha'ani la'atzmi, however, if I only think about myself, ma'ani, what's the purpose of my existence? I wasn't born just to think about myself. I was born to help out the world, to help other people. Therefore, the Mishnah is giving me two sides of one coin. On the one hand, a person needs to worry about his own service to God, that he or she has to be a good person, that you have to perfect yourself. On the other hand, a person needs to know that there's no purpose of them just being in the world taking care of themselves. The whole purpose of creation, the whole purpose of you being here is to help other people fulfill their mission. Another meaning to this, im ein ani li, which means if I do not think about myself, im ein ani, if I am not here, when I serve Hashem, I don't think about myself. Mi li, like who is compared to me. Mi can also be like mi kamoich, like who is like you. Mi li, who is compared to you. You're in the highest level of avodas Hashem. You're in the highest level of service to God, but you don't think about yourself. However, kashani la'atzmi, when I do think about myself, then ma'ani, then what am I worth? We weren't born to think about ourselves. We were born to serve Hashem. The Mishnah finishes off with the statement, Ve'im loy achshav emasai. If not now, when? What is the now and when and what is the when? So Rashi and the Bartanura explain, like we explained before, that now means in this world, the when is olam haba, in the world to come. That if we don't serve God now, then there will never be another chance. Rabbeinu Yoina explains that what it means, im loy achshav emasai, that a person can say, right now I have a lot of worries, I have business to worry about, I have many other things to worry about in my life, I have no time to learn Torah, to do mitzvahs, to serve God. So this is what the Mishnah is telling me. Im loy achshav, if not now, even when you do have worries, emasai, when, because it could be that it will never come a time in your life when you won't be busy. It could be you'll be busy constantly. Therefore, a person should never say, now I'm busy, I'll serve God later. Im loy achshav emasai, if not now, when. Just to finish off with one other concept, the Mishnah uses the expression im loy achshav emasai. If not now, when. It doesn't say if not today, when. It says if not now, when. Which means not only is every day precious, but every single moment is precious. Im loy achshav, if not now. If we don't serve God now, emasai, when we'll be able to serve God. Have a great day.